Entering the Ring is the podcast you don't want to miss. Lucha House Show Podcast.
What is up, everybody? Welcome once again to another episode of our favorite and your favorite wrestling podcast, Lucha House Show Podcast. I'm Mars, the voice of violence, as always, joined by my colleagues here at ringside, Rowdy Rod and the armless assassin, Renzo Sin Brazos, who just happens to be yawning. Sorry we're boring you, mate. I'll try and lift my game. So anyway, tonight on this episode... Yeah, hug to us, spit on that thing. Let's focus, gentlemen, focus. On tonight's episode, we will talk AEW, Forbidden Door predictions. Moxley bleeds all over Japan. We'll jump into WWE, where there's a whole lot of stuff happening. Chad Gable pulls a JC and comes back from the dead. Seth Rollins returns. Drew McIntyre rolls into Chi-Town and lays the smackdown on the Second City Saint himself, CM Punk. Liv Morgan, we are all still watching, and boy, are we watching. And credibility restored to the bootleg bloodline in the form of the debut of the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu, who made his rib-crushing debut by flying off the top rope onto the announce table and onto Cody Rhodes, the Universal Champion, crushing 2 ribs in the process. And backed by popular demand, we will have a live reaction to the latest episode in the Wyatt 6 saga. So, Rod, flick that switch and let's get this verbal spar started.
That's it, man. We had a lot, like you said, we got a lot to talk about. Chad Gable, a disclaimer, Chad Gable was never dead. People got it wrong. He got badly injury. So he was never dead.
Well, you mean no one shot him in the head? Wow.
He didn't get shot in the head. He was badly injured in the head. Like, there's no shots.
Kayfabe lives. Did you see Triple H had to actually go on the Pat McAfee show and say, hey, sometimes we have to set people straight because, lines are blurred. No one was shot. No.
Exactly.
Chad Gable was alive.
Technically, because they remember, it was Gunther on the floor, all the stuff that we're going to talk about this anyway. But
we don't know if it's Gunther.
We don't know if it's Gunther. It was said there's a few wrestlers. This was only one person that was clearly shot in the head, which he was an extra, which you can see him laying down with a point here and just blood at the back. So that's the only one you can say was dead. But everyone else was just badly injured. And Chad Gable was back to Raw and stuff happened. But not going to WWE. Yeah, just go to AEW with Renzo, man, and what's happening with Forbidden Door literally around the corner.
Yeah, so Forbidden Door is actually happening this weekend. Look, man, and I actually saw some really good AEW matches this week on Collision and on Dynamite. So if you haven't had a chance to watch this week's episode, catch them because there are some crackers, absolute crackers in there. One of the highlights was Will Ospreay versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Not Powerhouse Hobbs. Mars, the one that came out here, the big muscles. Brian Cage. That's the one. Powerhouse Hobbs. They're too big.
They're massive.
Massive. Watch that match. That was absolutely amazing. But we're going to talk about a little bit about Forbidden Door because we've got some really good matches, even though some of the matches aren't for any titles. And there's a few more matches to be called out this week. But one of the ones that I'm looking forward to is the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho with Big Bill, Brian Keith versus Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata in a trios match. That's going to be great. Bryan Danielson is going to verse Shingo Takagi. And this is for the men's Owen Hart tournament first round match. That's going to be great. That's at Forbidden Door. MJF versus Hechicero. And Hechicero had to be a substitution for Rush. And unfortunately, Rush isn't allowed to participate because of his allegiance with AAA and AEW using this pay-per-view to, forge its allegiance with Sam LLL. John Moxley versus Tetsuya Naito is the singles match for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship.
Before they continue, let's take step back into the MJF and Rush match, because this is really stupid, because this was what is getting built up. It was getting built up to Forbidden Door. So it makes no sense, knowing that he wasn't going to allow to match, like fight in that match. It makes no sense to like put so much hype on it to get to a point that like Hechicero comes in because it's from CMLL. I found it really, really stupid. Like, why to make so much hype and something was getting really good, like the push back and forward, MJ saying stuff in Spanish, getting really personal, and things getting really heat up between both of them. They had a match, but the idea was to get this a Forbidden Door, and we're getting a match that has no background. Literally, there's nothing in it. It's just a match to add to Forbidden Door for no reason.
I think the problem is that, look, Rush and MJF had a banger of a match on Dynamite. If you haven't seen that, watch it. Really, really great match, man. But the problem is that they were waiting for the last minute, and AEW is, kings of doing this, waiting till last minute to see if everything is going to be okay. But Rush still has contacts with AAA, and up until the last minute, they couldn't, talk it through because of the allegiance with Sam LL, which is understandable. AAA and Sam LL don't like each other, never have. The thing is, he's got a side contract with AAA. That's the issue.
Okay.
That's the issue. So he's got a contract that he can go and make appearances at AAA, and that's the issue. Yeah, disappointing. Zack Sabre Jr. is going to be a cracker of a match versus Orange Cassidy. I can't actually wait for this match. Grapples galore we're going to see in this one. Timeless Tony Storm is going to defend the AEW Women's World Championship with one of the best that's come from Stardom in Japan, is Mina Shirakawa. And she's actually tag teamed with Tony Storm before in Stardom in Japan. So that's going to be an interesting match. One of the ones I'm looking forward to as well is Mercedes Moné versus Stephanie Vaca in the winner takes all match. And we know how strongly Rod feels about this one.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
This one's going to be great. The ladder match for the vacant AEW TNT Championship, which Adam Copeland left vacant. And have a listen to this. It's going to be Konosuke Takeshita versus Mark Briscoe versus Jack Perry versus Dante Martin versus Leo Rush versus one more competitor that they're going to be putting in this week. But already you've got high flyers in there. You've got Konosuke Takeshita. I really hope they push Takeshita and Takeshita wins this, man. This
Jack
kid
Perry
needs... Oh, man, I want it to be Takeshita so bad. That guy needs something. He's just been doing so good.
The establishment of the new management, AEW, they're going to give it to Jack Perry.
Oh,
just to add more gold to the establishment, they need to give the power, establish themselves as the ones that rule everything, and what better than have another title in there. They already got the tag team titles. Let's bring the TNT title like it used to be at some point of time with when AEW started. So I think they're gonna give it to Jack Perry because, to be honest, Mark Briscoe is just gonna smash everyone just because it's Mark Briscoe. It's for the fun. Leo Rush just to have good jumps over the ladder. Dante Martin, same thing. Kaneshi Takeshi just to make it more interesting. And whoever comes next, unless it's a last minute person, like really, like a surprise, they could win it. But if not, I think it's gonna go to Jack Perry. What a better moment to give it to Jack Perry. It's a title that means nothing, to be honest. It's a title that it's a stupid title. Like it shouldn't exist, that title, because it was done for TNT. When AEW was still with TNT, I think it's still with TNT. I can't remember.
It's like 3/4 of the belts in AEW. Then it doesn't mean shit.
Look, it's technically like there's not that many titles like in AEW. The thing that, for example, the TBS title was done for one brand, for one TV station. The TNT title was done for another station. I never liked them. I was never in favor of them. We never be in favor of them. So the meaningless titles, it doesn't matter who has it. Like the FTW title has more fucking meaning than these fucking titles, to be honest.
Yeah.
Agreed.
100%.
absolutely.
100%. So that's why, like, if you're gonna be an empty title like the TNT title, why not just give it to Jack Perry straight away? I think Takeshita, if you're gonna give him a title, give him a good one. Give him like the Intercontinental title. Give him the
What about? I mean, I don't know much about AW, but what about if that kid that hangs out with Christian Cage? What if he's in the match and he wins it?
Oh, what's his name?
That's a
I forget
stretch.
his name. That's a stretch. Yeah,
That's stretch.
Is
He's
it?
too,
stretch.
yeah, he's too
Yeah.
green. Too green, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's too green. It's not bad, but it's
Yeah.
too green to get this title. This TNT. Look, when this TNT title started, we always said it with Renzo. This was a title for the youth. It was the title for the young wrestlers. You know, the ones they're coming up, they're bringing up. You know, this stuff was title for them. And who wins it? Cody Rhodes. Who holds it for the longest? Cody Rhodes. And since then, it was like, fuck this title. Like, there's no point. What the fuck to have that title for that?
Nick Wayne.
Nick Wayne.
Nick
there you
Wayne,
go.
that's it. Nick Wayne.
Like, when the TNT title was like, fuck Sammy Guevara, we said MJF, we said, fuck
Darby Allin.
all the
Where is
pillars.
Sammy?
Is still
Still
Suspended.
suspended. Still suspended.
That's
for a-
ridiculous.
For a stupid reason. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
The most stupid
Ridiculous.
reason ever to be suspended. But that was when the TNT title was born. We're like, fuck, beautiful. Finally a title for the pillars, for the newcomers, you know, something for them to battle for, and they just give it to other wrestlers. They didn't need to have a title, bro. You know, like, it's those are the ones that have to go for the main title, not for the fucking TNT title. So for all those reasons, I want Jack Perry to have it. I think that'll be perfect. Perfect to get
Yeah.
to go that way. And Takesha, man, he deserves a better title, man. He comes from being a massive, you know, wrestler in New Japan. Man, you can't give him this shit title that for what reason? It's like giving the Rainmaker the TNT title, man.
Yeah,
It's
true.
a fucking
True.
insult. Like what the Rainmaker has now the what's the name of the Intercontinental title? It's a different Intercontinental
The
title.
international.
He has the international
Championship.
title, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. International
Yeah,
championship.
he has international championship, which is perfect. International. He's from Japan. Beautiful. Give him the title. Perfect title for him to have. You can't give him any less than that. And I think Takeshi's in the same bubble. You can't give him anything less than that. So I think that's for all those reasons. I hope Jack Perry wins it.
And the last match we've got is Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay.
Fuck
Now this one's
match.
interesting. This one's interesting because this week on Dynamite, Will Ospreay and MJF came face to face, and the crowd lost their absolute minds. But Will Ospreay's made enemies with. Oh man, we just said his name. I keep forgetting his name. Big guy.
Brian Cage.
Not
Brian
Brian
Cage.
Cage. I keep forgetting Brian Cage's name. And he's got a faction as well. So I think these guys are going to get involved somehow and they're going to fuck it up, and Swerve Strickland will retain. But yeah, this one's going to be good. Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland. We've seen some matches of these guys before in the indies. These guys are really close friends off camera. And I think once I remember I sent Mars a video of Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay dancing after a match. And he absolutely hated it. So these guys have absolute great chemistry. It's going to be a good match. But yeah, that is Forbidden Door.
Yeah, but this is I don't know, the AEW World Championship one between Will Ospreay and Strike Street, like, is it a match? Look, this is the thing. It's Forbidden Door. And I see one title from Japan in all this shit. Like the New Japan Strong Woman, that's a new title. But there's nothing else that screams Japan in this. For me, this
The only one is IWGP that Moxley has. But
you have
about
to
it.
have that. If you don't have that one there, like, what's the point of even calling Forbidden Door? You know,
Yeah.
like you got like Zack Sabre Jr. Yep, fair enough. You got a lot of wrestlers from, like, for example, you got Stephanie Baker, and then you got Hechicero. That's pretty much it. Like, what the fuck is with the Lenin Tree against Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata? That shit is for AEW, like, you know, pay-per-views. Like, they should be building, and I think this is what we said always, and we've always been really critique of this with AEW. It doesn't feel like a Forbidden Door. It does not feel like if you're gonna make a Forbidden Door, just make the semi-LL title to be here.
Yeah.
Make the women's semi-LL title here. Make it like a full-on title matches, all the main titles getting fucking smashing this one. I bet you any money, the main event is gonna be Will Ospreay against Swerve Strickland.
Well, it's got to be.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
But why? Why it has to be that one when you got the?
Well, because he's the champion. He's like it'd be like if Cody Rhodes wasn't the main event.
But hang on, it's a Forbidden Door, and we got the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship as well. So why is the AEW title more important than the IWGP title when it's a Forbidden Door event? Why is not the IWGP title the main event? Like fair enough. If it's a full AEW match, like pay-per-view, fair enough. Give it to that. But we're talking about Forbidden Door. The whole point of Forbidden Door is just everyone comes in. Everyone has a shot. But this is giving a shot to like all AEW guys. Like Monet's gonna win the title, which I fucking hate. Like clearly she's gonna win the title. She will win the title, which is shit. Moxley's gonna retain the title. United States again, to USA going again that way. So Strickland and Will Ospreay makes no sense because both of them and AEW guys. So nothing to New Japan and what's called and Samuel. MJF and Chisero. Like seriously, you're gonna make MJF lose?
No.
Yeah, no.
So MJF again. The Lenin Tree against the other group is all USA. Bryan Danielson and Shingo Takagi, maybe. They'll give it to Shingo Takagi, maybe. That's a really big maybe. Zack Sabre against Orange Cassidy, great match. Who wins doesn't matter, but it's not going to mean nothing. Tony Storm is not going to lose the title.
No.
Another one's not. So at the end of the day, everything is the TNT Championship. Why is the TNT Championship Forbidden Door? That's what I'm saying. It's not a Forbidden Door pay-per-view. It's an AEW pay-per-view. Yeah, exactly.
And I think the
meaning.
Yeah, the only way they can do that is if they take Forbidden Door outside of the US. They have to. Like, there's got to be a way that they take the Forbidden Door pay-per-view away from the US.
And that's what we said from the beginning. What we said from the beginning. We said from the beginning, if this Forbidden Door, fucking awesome. First year, United States, fair enough. I got nothing against it. Fucking next year, do it in Mexico. Following year, do it in Japan. It's a Forbidden Door. It's a Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Or PLE, whatever you want to make it. You make it for this one's actually a pay-per-view, sorry. It's meant to be breaking all doors, everyone comes in, but then you got like there's the Owen Hart Cup, that's AEW. The AEW Women World Championship, AEW. TNT title, AEW. AEW World Championship, AEW. So at the end of the day, what's the point? What's the point of calling Forbidden Door? Call it something else, man. Like just kills the whole vibe of what Forbidden Door is. It's losing the meaning at the moment. This is the third time they do it, yeah?
Well, I suppose that also adds to the argument that was put forward this week. I don't know who said it, but I tend to agree with it. AEW is more concerned with 5-star matches than they are of storytelling and long-term storytelling. And that what you just said, Rod, which I agree with, proves it.
100%. 100%. And that's the reason why, like, and you said it, and it's perfect because Marcel said it many times. That's why you say, fuck, there's banger matches every single time at AEW. Dynamite, it's fucking banger matches. But these matches, they should be in a pay-per-view. And why they're not a pay-per-view? Because they're not making stories. They're not creating stories. They don't care about that. And I think Tony Khan said it. He put a tweet about it. I'm a madman. I'm going to put matches because I'm a madman or something like that. It was something along those lines. So clearly, money is not an issue. They've been forecast to last this forever because they got the money to back it up. Clearly, because otherwise they'll be worried way more. And the only thing could fix this, and if Shane McMahon will get there.
Not even he could fix it. Not even he could fix it. He's not a booker.
No, but he's not a booker. But he'll bring all the knowledge that he knows from WWE to like kind of steer WWE, AEW in a better way. He's not a booker for enough.
I know it's Shane McMahon and it's not Vince McMahon, but the McMahon name at the moment is tainted. You don't want to have any associations with that. Let alone
it's more Vince. It's been really stuck with Vince because we've seen Stephanie in WWE.
Yeah.
So it's been really clear Vince. It's been like from the get-go. Like, yeah, at the beginning it was the Shane, like McMahon, like the McMahon surname.
Vince.
But now it's been Vince. And clearly every time it's been referring to something with him, it's Vince. So I think
but the only reason why Shane McMahon's name is being thrown around with AEW is because Jim Ross said answered a question that was put to him. But he's not a booker. He's not a producer. He took some crazy ass bumps, but he's a worker. He won't solve AEW's booking problems. They've lost guys that could have solved that problem. They lost guys like Mark Henry. They lost I think it was Arn Anderson as well.
Yeah.
Bring in someone like
Anderson.
Bring in Bubba Ray Dudley. Like, if you hear him talk on Busted Open, that guy has got insight into
genius.
the business that's second to none.
Look, I think the issue with AEW is that they need to push the best talent in key spots, cut out most of the titles, like you said, Mars, develop legit storylines that makes us care, stop debuting major talent in mid-card feuds or in dumb factions, because a huge downfall of the Vince era was the bullshit 50-50 booking, and no one was special, right? Like, no one was special. But that's the solution for AEW. They just got to get us to care again, right?
Look, absolutely. And look, I don't want to harp on about it, and it's not good to compare because it really is apples and oranges. But like what you just said, Renzo, Rainmaker, absolute wrestling legend in Japan, right? Huge, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
Debuts in AEW. Oh, okay, there was fanfare for a couple of weeks. Now he gets lost in the mix. Compare that to Jacob Fatu. He was wrestling at Major League Wrestling. He was big in Japan, but he was nowhere as big as the Rainmaker was.
Yeah,
and look at his debut. They put him up against the Universal Champion. They make him crush the Universal Champion. He has added. We'll talk about this later.
We'll talk about
that. But compare those two debuts, and that tells you.
Yeah.
He's sold out. His number one sold T-shirt in
the shirt.
shop.
The Samoan Werewolf shirt's the number one merch in WWE.
That's crazy for an unknown guy, like literally unknown guy.
Dude, don't get me started on his debut and how Solo Sikoa just looks like a piece of dog shit under his shoe, man. Just don't even get me started.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
We knew. But anyway, so AEW, look, Forbidden Door, again, cracker matches, beautiful matches to watch, 100%. Nothing to say with that, but it's not Forbidden Door. I think they should stop calling it Forbidden Door until they do what we discussed before, like take it outside USA and literally make it fair for everyone, not just clearly still only one way and putting shit stories in there from AEW. They should not be in there. At the moment, they should not be in there. And I don't know how long they can do this because also AEW has been having massive issues on selling tickets, on filling up arenas. Like we saw in Dynamite last week, I think like there was a few camera moves where MJF was battling Rouge, and you could see the side of the ring, the opposite side where the camera is not showing. It was absolutely empty. So that means the arena was like there was just only one side, and just a few people on the edge of the arena. So it just, I don't know. AEW is starting.
What city was it? What city was it?
Oh,
do you know?
Oh no, I can't remember.
Like we've said this a couple of times. Like it depends if it's a wrestling town, then you know.
Yeah.
But that's the matter if it's at the end of the day, we said it many times. It's just the size where they're choosing. They're choosing big without being able to fill it up. They could choose something smaller. And with marketing, without having that much money behind, they have a good marketing team and just, sell it properly, If you can sell good, like you don't need to hide the camera and you can pan out everywhere. Like far out, like the debut of CM Punk was a full-out stadium. But after that, every time they're going back there, they haven't been able to sell out the stadium. It's been that issue with AEW.
That match, that blood match or whatever it was called that Mox won, what was that for a title in Japan this week?
That was for the IWGP title.
Oh, okay.
IWGP.
He was defending title.
Oh, so but he retained it. He didn't. Yeah, he was already the champion. Yeah.
He retained the title. Yeah, and he's doing it in Japan, which I love it, man. Fucking hell.
Was that at the Budokan? Was that at the Budokan?
It was at the Budokan.
Oh, that legendary venue. Look, if you're a Kiss fan, the Budokan is like legendary status, man. Kiss Live at the Budokan was like one of the things that you needed to do. Bucket list item, which I never did, but it is what it is.
Yeah, some of the things you can do. But yeah, he's the good thing is he's defending the title outside USA. He's keeping it with New Japan, which is massive respect to Jon Moxley for doing that, because we've seen other times with that is not happening with other titles from other companies.
Yeah.
They get lost in the mix. But now he's keeping it really relevant in Japan, like it should be, because it's a Japan title. So even though he's from United States, he shows it everywhere, but he keeps defending it over there, and he goes as often as he can. So that's very done for Jon Moxley. And with that, we got the wrap up of what is AEW, what's coming in for Forbidden Door, and some of the stuff. We're just gonna go for a break, and when we come back, we just go straight into WWE.